here. It's all right, I suppose.
So, can he armor toggle? I'm sure he can.
You know, they haven't done it actually pick any heroes that stop the armor toggle. So
playing against Lions is not a pub, though. It's not the same.
Yeah. Yes. All right. That's the thing. It's like I see this Huskar pick. I'm like, oh, this is going to work, but then like it's still Huskar. This hero receives nerf after nerf. So I'm gonna very quickly then.
Elder Titan, also picked in the other series, by the way. I want to believe in the Elder Titan.
Okay. All right. Gods quickly. Alliance. Okay. 2 for OG, 1 for Alliance. Let's find out who wins opening game in Group A. Let's head over to our commentary team.
Thank you very much, Red Eye, and indeed we have Alliance versus OG. I was already incredibly excited for this matchup, but what a couple of lineups we've got. I'm only Pixel, this is Purge. Let's get ourselves right into the action as the game is underway. But where do we start? I mean, we've got Miracle, Huskar coming into the fray, EGM picking up new heroes like this Elder Titan, the teams have started to flirt with. No Tail on his DK, a crit on his signature IO. Then you're looking over, we're seeing Mirana now on Loader, you know, whereas normally we're used to seeing her in the mid lane on this patch. Where do we start, Purge? What are you most excited to see?
Well, I like that OG's going for a draft that they used to do a lot when they were winning a lot at Frankfurt. They would grab 2 very defensive supports, and that would enable heroes or players like Miracle to do really well. And Huskar is kind of cool this game. Alliance does have large amounts of magic nukes, especially the Mirana Axe build that's very popular. Puck as well as Face's Void, that's a lot of magic damage. So with Huskar, his magic resistance isn't nearly as good as it used to be, but Armlet got buffed, so his physical resistance is a lot better. And Alliance is going to try to solve that problem by grabbing an Elder Titan, which naturally enhances magic damage and lowers base armor. So it kind of solves both of the problems that you need against Huskar. So I kind of like the Elder Titan pick a lot. I think it's a good solution for their problem, which is mostly magic damage, and OG who has a Huskar who's resistant to that, plus 2 defensive supports on top of that. So it could be a very interesting game. Maybe Alliance will get off to a great start, a lot of early advantage, or maybe OG will get to a position where their Huskar and their Bristleback and their DK just never die.
Yeah, I mean, talking about the Elder Titan, do you feel that was a purely reactive pick to the Huskar? Looking at Alliance's draft, do you think they were going to go that way anyway for EGM?
No, I think they were going to pick something else, like Gods was talking on the panel. Something like Venge looked a lot better as a whole against what OG does, plus it would have synergized well with Puck ulti. They could automatically break the tether. But I think the Elder Titan versus the Huskar was kind of needed, because they just needed a way to amplify the magic damage that they do.
And let's talk about these lanes, Purge. So top lane, we've got Bulldog being put on his own on the safe lane to deal with Moon on the Bristleback. And they've decided on the solo lines to take this tri-lane down here. You've got Loader, Ake, and EGM, in fact, having a bit of a go here. Onto Miracle, moving in, forcing back the Huskar. One more touch, could do it, but crit with the heals will save him for the time being, and they will both get themselves back. But already we're seeing the power of this aggression from Alliance, and this laning situation better for Alliance here?
It's really good right now. Elder Titan's one of the best level 1 heroes due to the fact that they steal a lot of damage from enemies. So you got plus 50 damage there, 2 creep waves, 3 heroes, and that's a lot of damage. He's going to have plus 50 with this again. And if you can right-click a couple of heroes and get a lot of HP damage in right now, it's going to kind of hurt their regen situation that Wisp normally offsets. So here comes plus 68 right now. We just did 115 to that IO.
Poor old IO.
It's real good. He will run out of mana soon, but Ake does have a clarity potion, so they might be able to give him help there. It's basically like they're tri-laning with a Chen. Very, very strong lane to have.
Yeah, and talking about Ake on his Chen, are we going to expect to see him just hang around here, continue to put pressure on with the other 2, or will we see him kind of rotate towards the mid lane, maybe see to try and catch out No Tail on the DK, or are you not trying for that gank yet?
Occasionally there will be a mid gank here, but I like the fact that he's sitting in lane right now, because otherwise they're not going to get enough farm in these matchups. It's scary against the double heal, because any heals that go in IO heal Huskar for extra, so they have to kill either the Dazzle or the IO for this lane to work for them, and they have to try to protect Mirana so he doesn't take too much damage from Burning Spears. So it's scary for now. Later they'll shift it, maybe turn Face's Void to the off lane, but for now they're trying to get this lane advantage.
Yeah, absolutely. And looking at the other lanes as well, you know, No Tail on the DK against S4, Puck, pretty even trade at the moment, 10 for 2, 10 for 0. The top lane as well, Moon and Bulldog going at it, 13 for 2 for Bulldog, and then 11 for 1 for Moon. So the other 2 lanes, a bit of a wash, a little bit even, I guess, with the hero matchups, this is expected.
Yeah, pretty standard. I would say that Moon isn't going to die, Emerald Bulldog isn't going to die either, likely, so they're just going to trade farm mostly. The only thing that's going to change this is if either one of them severely runs out of regen, but they both got a lot right now. They'll be fine. So on the mid lane though, S4 versus a Dragonite is a bit of a more interesting matchup, just because Puck can harass a lot, but Dragonite should be able to survive a lot of these things just due to high armor. It's really about this bot lane. The tri-lane versus tri-lane. Oh, we got a great creep though.
Oh, the old RP and he's spamming out the chain lightning. That's so not fun to lane against.
You can cast it 8 times, and it does 140 damage, and it bounces, and the range is ridiculous. It's like 800 cast range, farther than most people attack. So this alone is going to give them a lot of lane advantage.
Yeah, I'm talking about Loda, so as I was saying, on this Mirana, it's something that we've been seeing most of the time in the mid lane, sometimes in kind of like a roaming position, maybe kind of hovering around the off lane. Loda playing this as the hard carry. What build are we going to see? Are we still going to see the Midas come out into bots, into Aghanims, or straight Aghanims, or what do you expect Loda to build this one?
Yeah, the Aghs build is a little iffy this game because it doesn't work super well against Huskar because he has a lot of magic resistance, so it's not like an insane amount like it used to be. It's a healthy amount. It's kind of like anti-mage levels when you're low HP and you have 4 points in. I still think we'll probably see it because it's still very good against the other heroes in OG like Dragon Knight as well as Bristleback, and with the Elder Titan he will be reducing the magic resistance of Huskar, his base at least, so it'll still do a healthy amount of damage and it'll catch the supports like IO and as well as Dazzle, so I think he still goes that build, but maybe a Midas is a good idea. That way he can transition into DPS items later if he needs to.
We can see down here on the bottom line.
Oh, he's gonna stop.
Oh, indeed, trying to set something up here. Loda looking for the arrows. He's going to catch out Fly here, so the focus on the Dazzle on Fly. He's got the back of the crit, won't be enough, and EGM punching down the Dazzle with the stapler and gets themselves first blood for the side of Alliance.
That's really nicely done. 2 points in Stomp here sets up a 3-second sleep, and there's no way to wake that up unlike the sleep of Vayne. It's a little different. So they set that up with an arrow, and then they just burst down the guy before he gets unstunned from the arrow. And they're able to do it with help from mostly Ake there with the double creep. He's got 2 creeps here that do like 140 damage each with their nuke. That's pretty impressive. So boom, nuke down the hero before he gets the Grey off, and that's a kill.
Loda looking for arrows onto the back lines. It's going to catch anyone again this time. But yeah, with that kill and the fact that you can see the CS difference just slightly ahead here for Loda, Miracle is certainly struggling to find the farm. But it looks like OG, I mean, if you're OG, you're not moving the lanes around, you're still feeling that you're getting enough from this safe lane tri lane.
Yeah, I think they're relatively happy. Miracle definitely does have less hits than Loda, but not by a huge amount. In the other lane, it's pretty much equal. Moon's doing slightly better than Faceless Void is. It's just going to come down to the first rotations, and that's one way that Alliance is in a much better place. Because as soon as Puck hits 6, he can gank. As soon as Faceless Void hits 6, he can gank. So it should be a little bit faster for them to be able to turn around. They do lose this Observer Ward in the safe lane, though. Sentry just placed down by Fly to anticipate that, and he'll spot it in just a moment. So free to 100 gold for him, and less vision now for Ake. Oh, great deny by Ake.
Oh, what a player.
That's 100 gold right there. That's actually pretty big for Fly.
Mid lane, look at this S4 dropping down the coil onto No-Tail.
No TPs though.
Running quite aggressively. S4, can he do this one? Hits as well. And not quite enough.
He messed up his bottle there, basically. He got hit on his last bottle charge and he wasn't able to eke out the extra 10 now.
And at the same time, getting another kill on this bottom lane. Though this tri lane putting the pressure on and on and on. Crit and Fly not being able to save Miracle. This is, I mean, yeah, Loda, EGM, and Ake are going to be very, very happy with the way this is going.
Or might die.
He can play around this one. Jumps to the side.
Got a salve as well. Yeah, he'll be okay for now. Yeah, I missed how that kill setup, but it's probably a similar thing. Landing an arrow and a little bit of burst damage. They're doing quite well, and Infused Raindrop picked up on Elder Titan. I really like this. It's not going to be very good against Burning Spears, because it'll burn through the Raindrop as a whole, but it gives him a lot of mana right now, which is what he needs. He can't really afford to get both Tranquils and Soul Ring in the laning stage because he's in a tri-lane, but by buying this cheap 225 gold item, lower chances that he dies, and a lot of mana, so he can keep spamming for now.
This top lane as well, both Moon and Bulldog, I mean, as we said, they're not killing each other, but both are having a pretty nice time in terms of farm. Yep. Moon with quite a little bit of a lead here with the CS. 53 against the 37, so certainly having an easier time in lane.
Yeah, it's mostly because Bristleback now gets big damage amp just by casting spells, and he's also got a skill that lets him last hit, so it's fairly easy to outplay your opponent when they're, because then you're fighting against the last hit with the right clicks. Yeah, and you can also cast spells, whereas Bulldog can't really cast spells to get last hits. It's impossible on his hero. Yank set it up mid.
No-Tail's got to be very careful here with the lead in. The Stream Coil pops down. Ake and EGM closing around the corner. No-Tail gets off the Dragon Form, but this man unable to fight back. And Alliance there was a third kill. And she said just a really nice rotation there for the two supports.
Yeah, Fly's a little bit late. He did TP and finish his TP, but it was way too late to get the value out of it. And even then, getting the save probably wasn't going to happen. Maybe a Grave TP would have been good, but there was a TP cooldown for Dragon Knight. So really good gank rotation. And this is another really nice thing about Chen is that you can spend time in the jungle and be efficient there farming without your opponents realizing that you're ganking. So the Chen could be farming, he could be ganking, you don't really know. Whereas if this is a support and he leaves bot lane, you're like, well, he's clearly either ganking mid or ganking the safe lane, or he's going to gank mid. So it's a little bit more straightforward to predict that. So they're doing a great job with this aggressive trialing Chen. I think more teams need to play it like this. It's very effective and hard to predict.
Bottom lane again, talking about the Chen, Ake, and EGM. Coming back to join the force of Loda, looking for a stomp.
Good movement from Miracle.
And Miracle indeed juking into the front. And EGM through the punches, the trap, into the arrow. They're trying to go on this one, but Crit is there with a tether. Is he going to be enough to save Miracle? No, the burst comes through and they'll kill him. So Patel with a TP rotation, but outside of Alliance are already out there. And at the same time, Bristleback going down as well. Okay, was denying himself by those to get to base. And was killed by a neutral group, but still.
Okay.
This bottom lane, a lot of action. It's not stopped yet. Loader also with the Star Stomp. The Stomp from EGM to set it up a third. Now with the Aaron to No-Tail, Alliance aren't done. They're looking for more. They get themselves in. No-Tail a little bit too tanky. Loader and EGM thinking about moving in, but with the TP coming through from Miracle, they're back off. 5-0, 9 minutes in. This is a pretty fantastic start here for Alliance.
Yeah, they're owning right now. That was actually a bit of a miss micro from Ake. He could have done a net in his stomp and they would have killed the Dragonite, but they're still doing great. They might be able to get Miracle. No, there's too many creeps in the way. But their lane just works out so well. Dazzle gets killed mid now. That was a solo kill by Puck. Like, they're just losing all of their lanes. Here comes the dive on Miracle.
Oh, and they might just get it again with this control. The Stars come at this point. The magic resistance won't be there at this stage of the game.
He just can't do anything. He's just getting completely blown up.
He is out getting absolutely crushed here. It's a 0-3-0 at the moment.
It's like he doesn't have magic resistance, and that's because of their altered skill builds that they have on their hero. Chen got 1 point of penitence, which amps your damage by 15%, so that's going to make up for some of the resistance. And the Elder Titan has 2 points in his aura, so it's basically almost removing the base resistance that the Huskar already has. So he's just taking damage normally, and he hasn't been able to get his armor yet.
Alright, nice gang. Holds him back, walks it off with the moonlight, and yeah.
That's fine.
Like, not going to find anything.
They're ahead so much in the other lanes that losing that ability to use that cooldown isn't a big deal at all.
They don't need Bulldog to fight at this stage of the game.
Yeah, not at all. He's got tons of last hits. 58 for a solo lane is great. He will be going for the fast Vlads. Nothing unexpected there. And now OG's in this position where they have 2 supports that are mostly defensive, but they haven't just won the lane with them. So now they're just kind of not going to be able to gank. The ganks are going to come down almost entirely to Dragonite, really. He's the only stun they have.
Look at this mid as well. It's all ready to lean on No-Tail. Bulldog coming in with the TP. There's no Cronus with the arrow. Actually, the cat fly on the back line to fly. He's going to be in trouble as well. The takedown No-Tail. Jumping takedown a second. Alliance absolutely cleaning house here in the mid lane.
Yeah.
And this is looking pretty painful for OG. They are relying on this Miracle Huskar, which is already it's being countered. And you know, S4 going for that early Veil of Discord as his first item. It's a bit of like a Huskar's worst nightmare. Crit tether across the arrow won't quite reach onto him, but it's just OG running away in Alliance. Looking to take 2-1 in the middle lane. In fact, Mooney's trying to be left behind it. I don't think the Bristleback is going to save it in the neck. Looking for it. Might just spin up. It will flip there with the save. So they won't find any kill. Let's see if they could get anything in return, OG, but now Alliance already well on their way out. So at least OG don't lose anything there, but we can see at the moment they need to come up with a game plan, and the question is, do they actually have the heroes to do so against Alliance's draw?
I mean, they would have if they weren't so far behind, but now they're quite significantly behind. Armlet on the Huskar is going to be up, so at least they're going to have an extra 10 armor. There's still a lot of nukes coming out of Alliance, and they've just been building so efficiently towards amping their magic. Even Elder Titan has adjusted his skill build. This is different than most of the other Elder Titans.
Maxing out the passive at this stage, yeah.
So this is a huge base armor reduction. So for example, against Huskar, that's only going to remove 2, because I guess he has terrible base armor. But on Bristleback, for example, that's 6. Dragonite, it's going to be 7. It's a pretty big damage reduction, not to mention the amplification of magic. Like, Dragonite's going to be squishy this whole game. That's what he's going to look like until he gets a BKB, because he's just going to take so much from nukes. And that's on top of the Veil, and on top of the penitence from the Chen. These guys are not going to be tanky. This build from Alliance is really working here, and it kind of just dismantles everything that OG wants to do. Like, healing lineups are basically not good if there's a lot of damage amp spells coming from the enemy team, whether that's minus armor or minus magic resistance. So Alliance kind of has the counter to what OG's trying to do here.
And we saw the bottom, No-Tail trying to lead it with an Invis rune, but Loader threw out an arrow, clipped onto him, so he knows that something's going on. So unlikely that OG catch anyone out here, and if anything, Alliance are the ones as well that they'll be kind of happy to fight. EGM moving in Ake and Loader on the back lines in case EGM is able to catch anyone out with the stomp follow-up. No-Tail still sitting on the sidelines. They've got a sentry down. Look at the D-Ward and Alliance. And they're going to be very, very safe here in OG. It'll be questionable whether they can find some. They do have relocate up on Crit now, so we could start to see the Huskar IO ganks come in.
I don't even know if I call it a gank, really. Like, what's their setup? It has to be basically Dragonite being there.
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
And he's picked up Gloves of Haste. I don't know if this is going to be a Midas here, because I don't think they win in the early game, that's clear, because they're already quite behind. I think he might have to aim for much later with Midas, perhaps. I'm not sure. It's that or Maelstrom, really.
There we go, OG. Quite a bit of strength to get the push through. The stomp will catch onto Miracle. Just going to follow through. The arrow, it is going to fly through, catch Moon. And again, with the spirit being put out, Loader starting to move forward. The Dragon Tail holding back Mirana, needs to be careful. As OG will back off again, being put out by the stomp.
Those TP, they're gone.
See if they can try and jump in. Bulldog does have that Chronosphere. We'll see if he finds the opening.
Okay.
S4, has the Dream Coil. See if they want to try and make a jump, because see the positioning of OG being very, very nice here. Just keeping those supports on those backlines so the saves will still be out. Arrow again onto Moon. Dream Coil with the two of them. Chris going to come in, tether up to Moon, so it's really hard for Alliance to go on this Bristleback. Still on S4 now. Bulldog jumps in. Still one the Chronosphere, just pops the time dilation out. Up again onto two, and there's your Chrono onto Crit Miracle. Saving onto the backline. It means they can't try and get in to help out the rest of OG. Crit falling low with a shallow red command time. Miracle focusing onto the front. S4 with a face shift, keeping himself like the bashes. Drop all up, but it doesn't matter. Miracle takes down one. Now, are we going to see the 9K player come into play? It gets stopped up. I think on the top, but it should be fine. Miracle giving a double on it. A double and nearly a triple. They do find the three anyway. And this man, he was not given the best of starts. He was struggling, but he comes back like that with the help of his team, and suddenly Alliance, they've got to rethink how they take these fights.
What a huge little fight there. Like, it's just very difficult to burst. They've arrowed Bristleback like 2-3 times now, and every single time they just don't have the damage to burst him. What they actually need is maybe Elder Titan Ultimate and another Echo Stomp or so. Maybe it was a mistake to go for the 4th one in natural order here by Elder Titan. I think it kind of was, because they need more burst damage. Puck is not enough. Starstorm level 4 is not enough either. They just don't have the ability to nuke any of these cores. Oh, maybe Miracle dies here.
Yeah. He's got the save for Crit as well.
Yeah.
And it's still a relocate Miracle. He's going to try and stick around, and Miracle is going to play. He's going to start to go to work, looking onto EGN. Now he's got to be careful backing up. He's going to be fine. They're not going to kill him for the time being unless they can try and jump through. They're looking to chase. Eyes are onto No-Tail. And it does sound. Moon's still hanging around. Nice stomp onto 3, but the arrow threads the needle. Not going to connect with any of the heroes of OG. Now S4 flying around here, but they're still the sustain from OG. It's too much, and they're able to safely get themselves out of here.
I'm really dumb. It's an Armlet on Dragon Knight. That was the one item I didn't put up. Yeah, that's embarrassing. Armlet, completely straightforward. Tons of armor, good right click. This OG draft is actually really working out now, though. I think it was maybe a mistake to go Veil on Puck. That's kind of limited his mobility a bit. But even still, he's been quite useful. Arrow not going to hit.
Indeed, and Crit, he's going to nab himself the bounty rune. That's 4. I'm going to quite be able to get the damage through. They're fine. He's got the volt charges, tether, and relocate is up in case of emergencies.
If Aloda had a little bit more mana, he would have gone for that, because he could have done a leap Starfall, but he didn't quite have the mana pool due to having the Midas here. I think it's okay that he went Midas, but yeah, the basic Alliance went all in on early game items. Maybe not all in, but they bought a lot of early game items here. That way they could stand up to the early 5-man team fight for OG.
And the thing is now at this point, we're seeing the team fight. So one of the things is that there's this Bristleback that has 120 CS Moon. He's got the pipe, he's got the mech. Once he gets the Greaves done as well, it's going to be such a strong team fight, and it's going to be even easier to keep Miracle alive on his Huskar.
Yeah, and it really offsets a lot of the magic damage Alliance is doing, because then he just gives a 400 barrier spell block to all of his heroes. It's incredible. Alliance previously was bursting on anybody they want, but now they're having a little bit of trouble. It's getting a little scary here for Alliance.
It really is. Miracle Huskar certainly coming into mid lane. OG
just trying to slow the push down a bit.
And Alliance, what's the plan here? They do a Dream Core, they've got the Chronosphere as well.
Gotta delay this push as long as possible, basically.
Bulldog's trying to find some farm down here on the bottom lane. Just getting this bottom lane pushed down. Alliance are just going to follow them through into the jungle here.
And in the meantime, Miracle's pushing the top lane.
Yeah.
So OG's taking the fight to Alliance despite the huge kills.
And we can see here coming through onto No-Tail. They've got the Dream Pop for this one, but No-Tail just walking it around. So he'll be there. He's going to be safe. Moon jumping in. And there's the relocate out from Crit. Very nicely done. No-Tail's going to be fine.
That was so well done. I love the relocate last second. Of course, so many spells out of Alliance. They don't have Dream Coil now. They do have Chronosphere. You can find.
They've got the Sentry down at Bulldog. Dream Coil now. Fire Stone. Do they have the control to deal with him? He's still moving sidewalk. Gets him out to the side. Still has that Chronosphere. We'll see if he finds an opening to use it. But at this point, the thing is, they can Chrono them. But then, how are they killing them with it in the Chrono? They just do not have the damage.
They have to go on the supports. It's the only people that they can kill, because they're going to back each other up. They've got Grave and Shadow Wave at pretty high levels, and a Medallion as well. This is getting pretty scary. It looked like OG messed up the laning stage a lot, but it's just so hard for Alliance to initiate. I think the Midas on Mirana is actually a mistake at this point, because they really just need a little bit more oomph. If they had that in that previous fight at the Tier 1, maybe they could have gotten the kills that they didn't get otherwise.
I mean, it just really feels like that. You know, Alliance, they had the strong lanes, they had the strong laning stage, but now the team fight, just because it got it just down to still Moon, just getting as much space as he did. He pretty much got free farm on that top lane.
Yeah,
so, and then he turns up to the pushes, turns up to the fights. You have these incredibly defensive support heroes, flying crit, just saving every time Miracle. And No Tail, I mean, he barely needs to be saved himself. He's a Dragon Knight, he's got the armor, he's got the armlet, and it just seems too much for the side of Alliance to be able to even pierce for at this point of the game when the full 5-on-5s come out.
Yeah, with that heal or weave, it's just almost impossible for them to get those core kills. They have to go on the supports. Or what they have to do is get the Echo Stomp on the supports while they go on the course. Eldershine does pick up his ultimate here at level 8. Again, I think it was a slight mistake not to go 7 just because of their opponent's lineup with the 5-man they had and the semi-weak damage that Alliance had. But right now he's got it. He'll be maxing out Echo Stomp next. And if they can get the back line, that's everything. If they just stun or sleep the Wisp and the Dazzle on the back line and OG doesn't have a way to make those heroes awake, which basically there's no way, then that's when they kill the cores. That's when the cores become killable. So it's really going to come down a lot to whether they arrow the supports or they stomp them with Elder Titan.
Yeah, as you said, they really need the perfect team for the perfect order of picking off heroes. But even with that, the fact that if you're focusing the backliners, still, this Bristle's going to get the mech off. There's going to be to say that he's now got it into the greaves or something like that.
They're going to wrap around here.
Let's see how they do with this one. Let's have a look. And they're going to be on point. They've made the drawing.
Loda's not quite high enough on mana to take this fight. He is going to be able to get a tower
wrap around here. S4 has the Dream Core. That's what flying the back lines. They'd love to remove the Dazzle from this fight before it kicks off. Dream Core will be dropped. Bulldog coming in with a chrono. Catches out the two of them here. Fly and Moon trapped in it. Fly to be taken down. But Miracle, he's ready to fight. Jumps onto Ake. Ake pops to make. They have the Moonlight Shadow as well. But Ake, he's going to burn down. He's got a Miracle. Moving on to a second target. Tying up Bulldog. Miracle chopping away. Throwing these flaming spears. EGM will hold him back with the stop. So one for one of the mana loaded jumping forward will manage to kill off the second support. But still OG standing strong with 3 cores. Dragon Tail on the loader. Loader's going to go down as well here. So it's a 2 for 2, but it's a 2 for 2 that OG will very happily take. And we're seeing Alliance trying to do what he suggested. They're killing the support, but it doesn't matter because OG's cores at this point are just so damn tanky.
It's mostly good for Alliance though, because they did delay the game by doing this, and it was only 500 gold advantage going to OG because they're going to get backdoor regen mid. Okay, it's gone now. So they do lose that tower, but I think they're semi-okay with this. They can still fight for the high ground. It was a pretty good initiation. They wanted to chrono both supports. That would have been perfect, but they only got one. If they killed both right at the start, I think they would have been high enough HP that they defend the tier 2, but just a little too delayed there. They've almost got their ultimates back on a lot of their heroes, about 40 seconds, 50 seconds left. Elder Time continuing to buy the tomes. He needs to level up as fast as possible. This is one of the best heroes to have levels on as a support. This, the tome will give him level 9, I think. We're very close.
Isn't it? Yeah, so should push him over.
Yeah,
right, yeah.
I think it's like 425 or something. Just one more creep dying here. He'll get level 9. Get another stomp level. Boom, there he goes.
You can see him landing over the road, but it's not going to be soon enough. OG. 3 ages here for Miracle.
Alright, and now Miracle has a Sanj. This is most likely going to be a Halberd, which means now he's got evasion on top of all of this.
How are you killing this man?
It's actually so difficult. The Tri-Ultra Core tank, pretty much all of them with armlets. This is an armlet abuse strategy, basically. Plus heals. It's like right up OG's alley.
I really don't see this Huskar dying again this game. Let alone twice. I mean,
if everyone else on his team is dead, they can deal with him easily.
I even at that. You know, this man really is quite something on this hero that we obviously have seen back at Frankfurt Major. This was one of the scariest things that OG could pull out on you, this 5th pick Huskar. As you said, you know, the nerfs have been real since that stage of the game, but still, OG and Miracle, of course, showing us the strengths of it. And a game where the laning start, I mean, what was it, 9 for 0? Alliance just killing people left, right, and centre, but ever since that point, it's just slowed right down.
Yep.
OG's team fight has been ridiculous.
Well, Mirana's getting kind of close to the eggs at least. He's got 1,500 in the bank. Still kind of regretting the Midas. If he did not have the Midas, he would definitely have eggs right now. And I really think that early team fight's more important than the couple extra levels. Because once you're maxed out on Starstorm, you're mostly set for Mirana being effective. Like, it's nice to have more leap levels, obviously, but when these guys are like 5-man grouping at 10 to 15 minutes and taking towers and roaches and stuff, it's a mistake to have the Midas. But it was going so well in the early game, it's easy to think like, oh, it's going to be fine, we're winning.
What do you think about this? I'm not sure we see all the time, but we're not going to the Echo Saber on the Faceless board.
It's good. He doesn't have a lot of time lock levels, which makes it a little bit iffy. Yeah. It's a lot better if you have more time lock, but if he's in a safe lane, I like Void going more carry, and this is a carry build, basically. It's carry Void build.
We've got OG ready to try and break the base. Alliance, are they going to stop this one? We're going to see them all come back, the full 5 ready to try and defend. Dazzle jumping in.
They did that so well.
Where is your damage here? The state is strong. Arrow flies through. Fred's needle. No Tail's got a DD for this push, and we can see him just the side of OG laying into the rack. Miracle now jumping forward on TGM, and now he starts to go to work. Looking down the timeout. Miracle is just the light on the down the frame. Now he's going to turn around for the second target. Bulldog's time walks away. They're okay, they're managing to break through the ages. They're a little bit early. Bulldog looking to focus No Tail, but even with the Echo Saber, he's literally doing no damage. And now they just turn. Miracle jumps onto the time warp just in time. Bulldog trying to get himself back. Miracle moving forward. No mercy here from the Huskar.
They got the racks right there. They're probably going to fall. There's even a double tornado, and they actually just can't kill through this.
Miracle turn back in. Jumps straight in onto Ake. Bam, bam, bam. Ake taken down by Miracle, and now he's looking for more. Eyes on the Loader. Chasing down this Mirana. Loader trying to get himself back, but he's going to go down as well. Double kill for Miracle. And it seems like OG, people wondered how they were going to react to 6.87. They've come into this match with the perfect game plan. Yeah. And off the back of a laning stage that didn't look ideal, this is just absolutely disgusting. Look at Miracle moving in onto EGM. No hope for Elder Time. It's another kill for the Huskar on the backline. Bulldog trying to go in. The Huskar walks away, but he's into Miracle. Trying to TP himself back to base, back to TI3. It's not going to work. Another kill for the side of OG, and S4 has to get himself out. I think this is more than over, Purge.
This is like one of the biggest turnarounds I've seen in a long time. In terms of like the laning stage looking so good, they had like a 3,000 gold advantage at 8 minutes. And now this, 25 minutes, this is an armload abuse strategy right here.
Oh boy.
It's so good.
I think they're going to have to nerf Huskar a little bit more. I mean, that's the way the Miracle's making it look like.
He did get armload buffs.
It's so perfect.
It looks really good here. Like,
but it's the full lineup, that's what it is. It is not the individual hero here, it's just how well it works. And the synergy is absolutely remarkable with what's been drafted in Project.
Yeah, in some ways it was actually better for OG in the fact that Bristol got free farm, because that added a pipe to a position where they could have still beat them down, but he got the pipe so fast that it just limited a lot of what Alliance could do. They needed to win, they needed to like stomp every team fight for 15 minutes. If they did that, they won. But all of a sudden, like, the game just got so hard, and it really is their heroes. Like, I liked the amp damage strategy they had going, but the Midas and on the Mirana really set them back. And if this was maybe a different carry, I don't know what the solution is, because like even physical damage I don't think would have worked this game, because they had so much armlet armor and stuff like that.
But anything would have worked out. I mean, the Lions are able to pull this back round. I mean, this is going to be an absolute miracle.
Yeah, they're really far behind.
2 sets of racks down, 26 minutes in. You've literally got no damage. I mean, there's a level 1 Dagon, whoop-de-doo, Huskar does not care. How'd you break through the 3k health points of this man?
I think maybe...
The evasion and the magic resistance.
I don't know, man. It's tough. Killing the Huskar is it's very difficult now. His net worth is insane.
It's just the back. IO.
15k gold
Dazzle.
advantage, or 15k gold for Huskar here. Next closest is 10k on Mirana. Nobody kills this guy now. Plus, he got buffed for heart as well. 45 strength instead of 40. Like, almost everything about this hero is better than it used to be. And in a lot of ways, this is where Huskar should be. Good magic resistance like anti-mage, but it shouldn't be like magic does no damage to you. It's just cool to see. This is their pocket strat as far as I'm concerned. Like, it's not too weird in terms of their picks. It's stuff they've done in the past, sort of.
But the thing is, it worked here. And, as we said off the start of the landing stage where Alliance were getting the kills. I mean, say that you're saying it's a pocket strat. If they did it again, though, how would teams adapt and how do you deal with this kind of lineup?
You need earlier game value. Like Faceless Void wasn't very effective this game.
Okay.
Maybe if you got a couple chronos on both supports, it would have worked. But
trying to jump in, trying to find something, but Moon just sits there.
they can't kill him. It's impossible.
They're going out quicker than they came in.
Yeah.
They really are.
Well, good positioning by Moon, basically. He's looking to tank the gank or the wraparound, and he did. That smoke is gone. Now the supports are protected by that. If they could have gotten behind, put a ward on the high ground, for example, and jumped on the supports and killed them, maybe they could have done. Now it's equally as hard as it was before. Void does like nothing here. Like, he actually does.
They're just walking in and just... What's the plan? What's the plan, boys?
Supports, it's the only way.
Kill the first street, Bulldog, gets immediately taken down. Miracle jumping forward, forcing them. About to be a buyback from Bulldog. Brit braved up on the sidelines, blind, playing around with load up. There'll be a nice bonus round to do. Where'd you follow through? He just lay down the earth splitter, bringing crit low crit. They might kill the IO. They might kill the IO. They will kill the IO. They managed to get to him, but they've locked their score for it. Loaded jumping in. He's can't get himself out of this one as well. Throws an arrow back for Moon. Miracle moving in. Loaded down as well. It's the second one. Bulldog will time walk himself away, but they'll continue to chase down an OG. They'll find the Void as well. Double kill from Fly on the Dazzle. Meanwhile, in the base, an Alliance just falling to the strength of OG this game. You said they had the strat here, and it was absolutely perfect. It really was. Well, this lineup from OG was...
It's perfect.
It really was.
Triple super hard melee core, two of them which get armlet, so they're really survivable. The other guy gets mech and pipe. And then the supports have good positioning. They sit